Hello, Jamie Allen Bishop live with Soul Heart Entertainment here to do a quick tapping session for Tapping Thursdays. If you are looking for a way to release beliefs that you know do not serve you anymore, this is the best way to go about it in my personal experience and opinion. Tapping is this idea that our bodies biologically hold our thoughts and belief systems. And what ends up happening is our bodies end up getting diseased or uncomfortable or in a place of sickness around our belief systems. And so, let me take my hat off. Woo! Hat hair, love it. So thank you very much for joining me for Tapping Thursdays. Let's go ahead and get started. What I would like to do is just take a couple of grounding breaths. The idea behind tapping is that we are tapping on meridians, points of our body where we most likely hold our belief systems. Hi, Cindy Rose. Thank you for being here. When we get started, what we'll do is we'll start at the karate chop, then we'll go to third eye, so between the eyebrows, then at the corner of the eye, then underneath the eye, underneath the nose, underneath the lips, then at the collarbone, underneath the arms, and then up on the top of the head, which is why I removed my hat for today. So as we make the statements in the beginning, what we're tapping into are the subconscious beliefs that we don't really like to acknowledge. We like to keep those subconscious beliefs nicely hidden under the carpet. We don't like to acknowledge them. That can be very destructive to our body and our cells and our DNA and our ability to heal ourselves. So just acknowledging them can be hugely healing. But in EFT, we also flip the ideas and the thoughts and the emotions around to something that might serve us a little bit better, that might be a healthier way of looking at things. Today, we're going to talk about knowing it all, about having this idea in our heads that, oh, I already know that. Oh, I don't need to learn that. I already know it, right? So there's a very fine line between knowing it all and coming from a place of knowing, right? There's very, very different feelings there. So that's what we want to tap into, is releasing that know-it-allism and allowing yourself to be a conduit for knowing. I think you'll understand a little bit better as we get into it, if you don't already understand it. And what we're gonna do is we're just going to allow it to come from source and be what it's going to be. So before we get started, let's just take a few grounding breaths. We're just gonna take some nice deep breaths in through our nose, release out of our mouth, and then as we come to a place of calm and collectedness and groundedness, we'll just let the breath appear natural or show up naturally. Okay, I close my eyes because it helps me get out of my it helps me get out of my head and a little bit more tapped into my heart. So just take a few nice deep breaths. We'll take at least 3. Hold at the top. Release out our mouth. I like to hear it because it helps me feel that it's actually working. Breath 2. And it's okay if you take more breaths than 3 or less or whatever. It doesn't really matter. Just allow yourself to kind of sink into your body, sink into the place where this is going to serve its highest purpose path for your experience here on earth, okay? So we'll start at the karate chop. We'll go right into it, get straight to work. So we're talking about knowing it all, okay? So Even if I always think that I know it all, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even if I always come from a place of knowing everything, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. Even if my attitude is always that I know, I already know. You don't need to explain it to me, I already know that. Ooh, I felt that in my tummy. This is work that I need to do too, if you didn't catch on to that. I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. So if you didn't notice, I do check in with my body just to see where I'm carrying it, if I'm carrying it. If I'm not carrying it, I'm just being the conduit for anybody and everybody who is carrying that state of mind or that belief system with them, okay? So I felt that very strongly in my tummy because that's where I have a tendency to carry all of the baggage that I have with me, is right in my gut area, right in that solar plexus. So as we move on, we're gonna tap in the middle, and I do tap with both fingers. You're never gonna wanna tap hard. You just want to, help your body acknowledge that this is the meridian point that you're accessing to help release it from your body. So I think I know it all. I sometimes come across as condescending. I sometimes come across as unwilling to listen because I know it all. I feel like I know it all. And maybe I do. Underneath your arms. But even if I know it all, I don't want to offend anybody. Because when I come across as a know-it-all, I'm not being a very good listener. And when I'm not being a very good listener, I'm not acknowledging that other people know different things than I know. And when I think I know it all, I close myself from learning. I close myself from opening up to lessons more easily. And when I close myself from lessons, I sometimes end up learning lessons the hard way. And when I have to learn lessons the hard way, oh, it's so much harder. It's so much harder to learn the lessons. Those lessons come across as sad. Those lessons come across as drama. Those hard lessons come across as angering. When I'm really stubborn about all the things that I know, I close myself off to what I don't know. I close myself off to learning lessons easily. I close myself off to lessons to come naturally and fluidly. And I end up feeling like I'm constantly struggling. When I feel like a know-it-all, I give myself more struggle. I give myself more struggle than is necessary. I give myself more struggle than I want to give myself. And so it creates tension, and it creates challenge, and the struggle or thinking I know it all brings to me more challenging situations, more difficulty. And I'm done with that. I'm done with being a know-it-all. So I laugh because my body's going, sure you are. Sure you are. Sure you are. But listen, I felt a little shift. And so here's where we're going to turn it around. This is just going to be a super quick session today. But maybe this is just a story. And it's a lousy story. And I give myself permission to release this lousy story and embrace the truth. And the truth is, everybody knows it all. I'm connected to Source, and so is everybody else. And when we come from a place of allowing somebody else to be heard, we come from a place of supporting them in their growth. And we allow ourselves to grow too. When we come from a place of being a better listener than we are a talker, because after all, there are 2 ears and 1 mouth. We need to be listening twice as much as we're talking. Because when that happens, the things that we learn are so much easier. The things that we know with our heart are different from what we know with our brain. And sometimes our brain can fool us into thinking something that's not true. Sometimes our brains can make us think we know it all in a different way than what we actually know. That feels so true to me. We know when we're in that heart space, everything there is to know. And when we're in the mind space, we have a tendency to filter it through the lessons that we've already learned, which keep us stuck in the past. And when we open ourselves to the lessons that we haven't learned yet, we open ourselves to learning it more easily. We open ourselves up to the lessons that we can learn easily. We also open ourselves up to all kinds of fun new information. And information is so fun. Isn't it fun to know things? And so I give myself permission to release this lousy thought that I know everything. And I give myself permission to embrace the truth. And the truth is, we all know everything. And when I come from a place of knowing with my heart rather than my mind, I embrace everybody for exactly where they're at. My tolerance level goes up, my patience level goes up, and the universe has less reason to send me lessons in patience and tolerance. And I become far more heart-centric, and we're just gonna stay at the heart here. And it feels so much easier. It feels so much easier to learn the lessons that I'm ready to learn. And so I give myself permission to always be open to learning new things. And always be open to accepting people exactly where they are at in their spiritual growth journey. Because that's who I am. I am open and willing to receive all that is good. So fun. All right. I think that that's pretty much it for today. Knowing what we know and knowing what we don't know is all good because we do know it. We do know it, but we have to tap into that heart space where it's not a mind knowing, it's a heart knowing. And when we know from our heart space, holy cow, the opportunities that come our way. Here's for fabulous opportunities this week. Join me next Thursday for more Tapping Thursdays. And if you didn't know, I plan to start adding to this, weekly showing up live online. You probably already know about Toes Day, which is every Tuesday at 4. This is Tapping Thursdays, which I plan to do at about 2:22 every Thursday. And on Friday, it comes to me that I need to be doing this around 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 is the number of completion, okay? And so every Friday at 9 o'clock a.m., I'm gonna start doing a 15-minute laser coaching session, and that will be over there on Instagram. So look for 15 minutes of live laser coaching. If you would like to be coached in a session, join me live and I'll bring you on camera and we can do a quick little interactive live laser coaching session. So obviously bring something specific that you'd like to work on and let's do it. So if you'd like that, join me tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Instagram on the Soul Heart Entertainment site. Or maybe I should be doing this on the Jamie Allen Bishop. We'll start on Soul Heart Entertainment just because that is that's the place where I do business and I try to keep the personal stuff on my Jamie Allen Bishop one. But we'll see because Jamie Allen Bishop is my coaching part of my business. So we'll see where it ends up. But tomorrow is, let's see, the 21st of May in 2021. And it is Pacific time. Thank you very much, Cindy Rose, for reminding me to point that out. I'm over here in Los Angeles, California. So it is Pacific Standard Time. It's actually Pacific Daylight Time right now because we're during summertime. But yeah, so Pacific time, 9 a.m. Over there on Soul Heart Entertainment for now. We'll see if I end up moving it over to Jamie Allen Bishop. All right, I hope that EFT session worked out really well for you. And if not, I would love, or even if it did, I would love to know what you would like to tap on in the future so that I can put those little tapping sessions up here for us. Bye for now. Have a great rest of your day.